Today we are going to learn about characteristics of diverse organisms and how different organisms can differ from one another. At the most basic level, there are two different types of organisms. The first type is called eukaryotic. The second type is called prokaryotic. Eukaryotic cells contain a nucleus. However, prokaryotic cells do not. Animals are eukaryotic organisms. These animals are multicellular, which means they are made up of multiple cells. Some organisms can have as little as 500 cells, but others, like humans, have up to millions of cells. Bacteria are prokaryotic organisms. These prokaryotic bacteria are single-celled, which means they are only made up of one cell. Usually, bacteria are very small. However, a good example to show a single-celled organism is an egg. The yellow part of the yolk is one cell. Usually, the single cell is very small. However, in this example, the yolk is very large. Within the category of eukaryotic organisms, there are two different subcategories that divide organisms in how they consume food. The first category of organisms is called autotrophs. The second category of organisms are called heterotrophs. Autotrophs can create their own food from energy, usually from sunlight or chemicals. This process is called photosynthesis. Plants are a great example of autotrophs, which use photosynthesis in order to create their own food from energy. The other category, called heterotrophs, cannot make their own food. The food they get is from eating other organisms like plants and animals. Animals are heterotrophs, like humans, cats, dogs, bears, and cows. Like stated earlier, photosynthesis is the process in which plants produce food as a source of energy. Sunlight is used to produce sugars that plants use as fuel. Two other important things that plants need for photosynthesis to occur is water and carbon dioxide. Without these two things, photosynthesis is not possible. The process of photosynthesis gives off oxygen, which is what animals need to survive. The last topic we will be covering today is breaking up the term heterotrophic into three different sections. The first one is called a carnivore, which are animals that only eat meat. The second one is called a herbivore, which are animals that only eat plants. The third one is called an omnivore, which are animals that eat both plants and meat. An example of a carnivore would be a lion. They only eat meat. An example of an herbivore is a rabbit, which only eats plants. An example of an omnivore are humans. We eat both plants and meat.